Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to our podcast. And this is going to be the best 30 minutes, the most positive, the most fun, the most wonderful chat between two cool chicks, just like you're sitting at the bar on a Thursday after work.
Yeah, exactly. Right after work.
I used to, when I went through university, I modeled and I also worked at a brew pub. And I am not joking. Some of the coolest conversations were had
Oh, absolutely.
with the people. If I was bartending, it was like the coolest conversation that I would have sitting with the people at the bar.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know what is so magical about it, but it's like the most introspective stuff happens
Yeah.
at the bar. In
Yeah.
the tables, it's like chit chat, friends, but like
Well, because at the
there's
bar, you're there for a while.
and it's gold. Like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
super cool. So anyway, this is what we're doing. This is what we're
Yeah.
doing. I have been drinking red rose tea. It is so strong. It is.
Oh,
I will be up.
oh, is it caffeinated?
It's caffeinated, but I love it. I love it. So
I
my
have not heard
friend
of
who
such a
passed
thing.
away, she used to drink it all the time. And so every time I have it, it's like, this reminds me of her.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I am living on the edge in my Wonder Woman shirt and
Yeah.
my Wonder Woman cup. Just
Nice.
get some lemon water.
Nice.
It's been a full day that won't end for a while. Thought about making some
What
coffee
is,
and I thought, I'm fine. You can have some water.
yes, I
Hmm.
love it. Well,
Uh,
so last week we talked about the hypnosis that you did for me.
mhm.
And so, I mean, it was a really good episode, but I want to give you an update
Okay.
on what's what I've really recognized. So, one of the things that I recognize, like I love the hypnosis, and it really puts me in a more faith focus
Knowing.
versus fear.
Hmm.
And so I have been listening to that hypnosis, and it's just 11 minutes. It's not very long, And I have also been listening to Abraham Hicks a lot,
Mm.
15 minutes. And I know you watch or you listen or watch both Abraham in the morning to start your day.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing is I've been ending my day, or if I wake with Abraham, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I turn on Abraham and I just fall asleep. And, it's like seeping into my subconscious.
Yes. Yes.
And so, and then also I journal every day. So if I do have any sort of low vibration thoughts,
Hmm.
I don't pretend they're not there. We all have them. We're human.
Yeah.
I just journal them out. And then I always say, I release this all now. Source, what would you have me do? God, what would you have me do?
Yeah.
And then I talk about what I want, what I desire, what I create. And so all of these things, all of these um, methods that I've been using have, I feel, just totally transformed my life. And in the last few weeks. And what I really, really realized was a couple of things. Number one was the external circumstances in my life have not changed,
Yes.
but you would swear they had, because 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was sitting in debilitating fear. And I don't say that word lightly. I am a
Oh, you
pretty delicate
were. You
person,
were.
but it was debilitating fear. It was constantly trying to come up with imaginary problems that I could solve, imaginary things that were the worst case scenario.
Yep.
Because I thought, well, if I can come up with a worst case scenario, I can figure out how to solve it. I can move through it. I can experience it once or 20 times. And if I know I can live through that. I know that I can live through anything. And what happened was it was on repeat in my brain. This worry to the point where I thought that it was serving me a purpose. I know better. I know better. And what was shocking to me was all of the mindset work that I've done, everything, it snuck up on me. And I was so shocked because I just thought, okay, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But it snuck up on me to the point where almost like an addiction, where it was, I had a thought and I felt the emotion and it was like a fucked up dopamine hit, but it was.
Yeah.
And then it just started building on itself and building on itself and building on itself to the point where I was not functioning at my normal level.
Yeah. I mean,
And
you even said one day, I can't record a podcast today.
yes, I did.
And I did not push you because
Mhm.
I was like, she needs a minute. And that's when we did the hypnotherapy.
Yes.
That is when we did that. But I knew, I'm like, oh, she's in a spot. And
I always can record a podcast with you. I mean, and in
right.
fact, no matter
Mhm.
where we're at, no matter how I feel, I mean, light some fucking incense and let's go. I can
Yeah.
get myself into the vortex. That day, I couldn't.
Mhm.
I couldn't do it.
But
And
look at what came out of that. You were
oh,
living conditionally for a minute.
mhm, yeah,
And although that was awful,
yeah,
what it made you do and dive in and really go, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore.
right.
And look at where you are. And you would maybe not be where you are right now had you not bumped up against that.
Oh, it's so true. It was such a gift. It was
Yeah.
such a gift. And like I can't say it enough. What was so incredible to me was that my external circumstances have not changed,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I have changed so much so that I started at debilitating fear, and now I'm like, everything is good. And the circumstances have not changed.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed, but time has passed.
Mhm.
And
And you're telling a different story.
I'm telling a different story, and I don't see any massive things to be fearful of now.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, that was one thing that it was amazing to see. The other thing that I remember thinking was, I needed this because all of my clients that come to me, they feel that debilitating fear. They feel that like being crushed by circumstances, by life, like it happens, by fear of showing up, by fear of anything, even like fear of starting something that is their life's work. And when I felt that, and then I was able to shift to feeling peace and faith, I thought, oh boy, this was a blessing because I have the remembrance a different way. I remember what it is like to feel like they feel now.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was such a gift to take me back there. And sometimes we forget what it used to be like.
Yeah.
I used to worry like it was my job.
Mhm.
And I have felt that soul crushing fear before, and I worked my way out of it and I did all the mindset stuff, and then I forgot. I
And
forgot.
we
And
do sometimes, but you've got a story and a vivid memory right now.
mhm, Yeah.
that you're going to have someone walk in your office and
Yeah.
say, I'm dealing with this and I don't know how, and I don't think it's possible. And you're going to go, oh, I just went through that.
Got
Let me
you.
tell you.
I got
Let
you.
me
Yeah.
tell you.
It doesn't need to be like this.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. And that's what's so crazy. And people
Yeah.
think it does. I had
Mhm.
a patient that, and I want to do hypnosis on her so bad. And she is so closed off and not at all interested.
Right.
And she's telling me the story about moving her son off to school and how, oh, what is the word she used? Excruciating, something
Mm.
like, I mean, it was a horrible experience. And she's describing it to me. And I'm like, that's just what college move-in feels like. Like, that's
Yeah.
just that's just the day. And oh, he doesn't want a roommate because he doesn't want just all the stuff. And what if they fight? And what if they hate each other? And so I'm trying to coach her out of this without her really knowing what I'm doing. And she
Yeah.
said, Leigh, this is just my nature. This is who I am. This is how I operate. And
Yeah.
my heart broke. And I did not push her,
Hmm.
because if that's where she wants to stay, who am
Yeah.
I to say you can have better? But thank
Right.
God we don't feel that way. Like,
Oh
thank
my God.
God we look at those feelings and go, absolutely fucking not. Not
Yes.
today, motherfucker.
Not today. And sometimes it takes us a fucking hot minute.
Oh, we have to sit in it sometimes.
And sometimes, like, when I reached out to you, I knew I needed help.
Mm-hmm.
Would I have gotten here on my own? Probably, but I
Eventually.
want to do it eventually. I
Yeah.
want to get here now.
But it wasn't me that got you here. It was
No.
your willingness
Mhm.
to look at yourself and what you want and what
Yes.
you don't and decide.
And and my willingness to ask for help to help me shift the energy. I knew I needed help shifting the energy. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I couldn't have done it on my own. I was, but I didn't want to stay there for too fucking long.
Yeah.
I knew that if I reached out to you, I I would be able to flip faster,
Yeah.
because why would anyone, or I know some people do, but I don't choose to live in pain for longer than I need to.
And maybe because we know what it can feel like on the
Yes.
other side. And
Yes.
I've been thinking about this because as I bump up against things, man, it hurts worse than it used to, but it's less severe, if that makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
a scrape on my knuckle is much more painful than maybe having my finger chopped off used to be, if that makes sense. Because I know how good life is. And
Mm-hmm.
anytime I'm out of alignment with that and I'm telling a stupid story or pulling back an old belief that's just bullshit, it feels so bad in my body because I know it's so wrong. And it's so far from where I want to be, even though it's still light years from where I
Yeah.
used to be. But
Yeah.
it's not where I want to be. It's not where I'm comfortable being.
But like when you're not feeling good in your body.
Mhm.
Let's say you're overweight and you've got back pain and knee pain and shoulder pain and ankle pain and ear pain and all the rest of the pains. And you just convince yourself this is the way that it is. You lose
Yes.
weight, you go to the gym, you eat better, you drink more water, you feel good.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, when you're not used to all of that pain, and you've got a kink in your neck, it's the worst.
Uh-huh.
Right? It's the worst. It's way worse now because you know what it feels like. You
Yes.
know what it feels like to be healthy and happy and ache free.
Yeah.
But before it was like just fucking piling on. This
Mhm.
neck pain, yeah, that's okay because I got back pain. I got all of these other
Yeah.
pains.
And there's all the excuses. I'm old, it's genetics, this is just
Oh yeah. Oh crap.
what I was meant to live. This sad, sad life.
I know. I know. Yes. And you know what the other thing I notice? I notice a lot of people, and this is starting to piss me off, but I hear a lot of people saying, well, I'm an empath. Have you been hearing this? I'm an
So,
empath. I'm feeling everyone's emotions.
mhm,
I'm taking them all around like, oh no.
yeah,
Empathy, the gift of empathy is beautiful because we can understand someone else's position. But
mhm,
if you're feeling all of their feelings and you're accepting them and you don't have good boundaries, that's on you. You don't have to feel
right,
it.
right. And
And so,
I get it that when
mhm,
they don't understand the power that they have to feel other people's stuff, that they
yeah,
take it on.
yes,
But there's a quick fix for this. When you're
right,
feeling something and you're okay, because I've been driving down the road, just minding my own business, singing, doing
yeah,
whatever. And all of a sudden, it's like something hits me, this
mhm,
wave of like sadness, and my heart's achy. And
yep,
I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? Well, I
mhm,
stop and analyze and go, okay, has something happened in the last 15 seconds? Are you thinking thoughts that maybe aren't in alignment with what you want? Are you
yep,
sad? Are you mad? And I'm sitting here going, no.
yeah.
And then I say, who does this belong to?
Release
And
this all now.
poof,
Exactly.
poof, it's gone.
Exactly. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Who does this belong to? And I say, who does this belong to? I release this all now with love.
Yes. Not mine. Not mine
It's
to carry.
mine. And it doesn't make us a hero to keep it.
No.
It doesn't
It
also
doesn't
take
help the
it.
person.
It doesn't take it from the person. What it
No.
does is multiply that vibration
Yeah.
in the universe.
Yeah.
And it keeps that other person stuck.
Mhm.
It keeps that
Especially
person.
when it's our kids.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and especially when we're holding it for them
Mhm.
out of guilt, out
Yes.
of, well, maybe if I just, feel this for them, they can let it go. No, because then both of you are carrying it. And then you're not showing up in life. You're missing life. They're watching you carry shit that's not yours. And
Absolutely.
they also feel your resentment for them.
And
Like,
fear. I
oh,
remember one time, so my mom, she was with Al-Anon for years because my dad's an alcoholic and he was with AA. And so she has all these good Al-Anon sayings
mhm,
and probably some things that she learned just from, the fellowship or membership or whatever it's called. But one of the things that she said to me one time when my kids were younger, she said, the worst thing that you can do is feel sorry for them. Because if you feel sorry for them, they feel like they can feel that you feel sorry for them
uh-huh,
and they can't move through the emotion that they're going through.
mm-mm,
You
mm-mm.
hold them, and I thought, oh, I need to breathe faith into
Yeah.
my kids, to be the one that's saying, it's okay, you got this, this will be
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
And not just lip service and bullshit. I need to
Mm.
believe it.
Believe it. Yeah.
And so I really tried to focus, especially these last few weeks, like focus on belief,
Mhm,
faith over fear.
mhm,
And it was so interesting because of some of the other things that I did. One of the things was I was extremely honest with the people around me. And I would say, you know what? I can't go there. This is my boundary. We're not going to talk about this
yeah,
because I am focusing forward on what I desire.
mhm,
And this conversation is not helping me.
mhm,
And so it sounded maybe like I was a massive bitch, but you know what? Like me first in this moment.
mhm.
And we should do
Absolutely.
that without guilt.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing that I did was I listened to the hypnosis every day.
Hmm.
I journaled my shit out every day. I listened to Abraham every day.
Yeah.
And most people don't.
Yeah.
Most people will feel like they deserve to feel the bad stuff, or they convince themselves they don't have time.
Oh yeah. I'm just too busy
I'm just,
because
I
the
can't do
two
it. Well,
hours a day that I'm fantasizing about the trauma in my life,
yeah,
I might have to give that up.
exactly. Exactly.
I've got a hypnotherapy patient and he's really struggling with journaling. And
Mm,
yesterday he was like, I'm sorry. I thought about journaling and I didn't. And I'm like, when you're ready to journal, you will journal. Do not guilt yourself over not journaling. I
yeah,
said, but it will change your life. I said, because
absolutely.
it gets you, because all I want is for them for about 2 minutes to
Mhm.
just focus on writing. What are you grateful for? Start
Ah,
wherever you're at, but just for 2 minutes, set a timer. And
right.
in the midst of that 2 minutes, they'll get, what is it, 68 seconds
Yeah.
of focused feeling good. Ooh, I'm grateful for this. Maybe not day one, maybe not day two, but it changes our brain when we
Yeah.
begin to stop and look for what we're grateful for
Yeah.
with that kind of amount of intensity for a few minutes. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, we're seeing all these other things throughout the day and feeling all these things that we're
Mhm.
grateful for. And I said, that's why I want you to journal. And when
Right.
you're ready, dive in. But
Yeah.
it's a practice that you're going to want to start that will change your life, but you've got to be ready.
You know what I found, what I do for journaling, and I know I've got all the different journal prompts. I've got all of the different techniques. I mean, I have a journaling group. I've been journaling every single day since in 2023.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we're in month 10 now. And the thing I do every single day, the one that I like, I can start and go, what am I grateful for? I stop and I go back to this. I always start with, dear universe, this is how I'm feeling now. I write out all of the things that I'm feeling, whether it's gratitude or whether I'm pissed off or I'm fearful, it doesn't really matter. And then after I write all that out, I say, I release this all now. Lord, what would you have me do? Every time, every single time. Maybe I just said that earlier in this podcast. I can't remember. But I think that there is a fear that if you write about the things that you're feeling, like the negative stuff that you're feeling, that you're going to magnify it. And for me, it's I'm writing it out so that I can release it.
Mhm.
It's like it's crawling around in the back of my mind and I just want to release it. And then I say that sentence, I release it all now.
Yeah.
And then I move towards what am I grateful for?
Mhm.
What do I desire?
Yeah.
It's like erasing the chalkboard or whiteboard.
Well,
Right, start.
it's also like talking to a friend when you've
Mhm.
got something that's a friend that's going to help you diffuse it, not a friend that's going to say, oh my God, what are you going to do? The,
Yeah,
the friend that's going to go, is it true? It, when we
yeah,
write it in that sense of, I want to let it go,
yeah,
it takes the fear out of it
yes,
and we see it for what it is
exactly,
instead of
exactly.
holding it in, going, oh, don't speak of this, don't talk about this. Because when we hold it in, it gets bigger and we make it nastier and
Yeah.
scarier. And then we're really afraid to tell anybody because, oh my God, what's going to happen?
Oh
Um,
yeah,
but
oh yeah.
we do need to be careful who we tell things to.
Oh, for
So I
sure.
want that a disclaimer,
Yeah.
but you do need to get that stuff out. And journaling and releasing it like that, I think, is a perfect way to do
And
that.
And it's not, I think the thing is, it's not with the intent to like roll around in it. It's
No.
not the intent of like writing it out so that I can hold on to it and think about all my fucked up thoughts.
Mm-mm.
It's the intent of, these are just things that I'm thinking. These are not truth. These are just things that I'm thinking, and I want to write them out so that I can release them. I want to work through them so that I can release them.
Yeah.
And I remember just in the last couple of weeks, I saw a post someone had written, and it was like, if your story is so big that you can't tell anyone, write it out in your journal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times, and I say this with vision boards too, and I say this with goals that we have.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we say a big goal, or we do this journal vision board and we put it up, and there's someone that'll come and shit on it. And it makes us second guess what we've
Oh,
placed.
yeah.
What? That's what she wants? She thinks she can drive a Lexus? Are you kidding me? She's not. Who does she think? And so I'm always very careful to tell people, create your vision board and keep it for yourself. Don't post it online. Don't show. I'll show old vision boards that I've done, but I will not show this year's vision board, what I want to create.
Yeah.
And because the energy that we have behind it, I want to honor it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Always.
and it's interesting, the critics that will
Mhm.
come in to go, oh, you can't do that. And let me
Right.
tell you why.
Yeah. And, the people who have a vested interest in getting that dopamine hit over talking about our traumas, over talking
Yeah.
about our stuff. It was so real to me, because I was talking to someone and I was disclosing just some fears that I was going through. And it was this energy of like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Greg. And I kept saying, I can't talk about
Yeah.
this. Because it's self-preservation. I am focusing on what I desire, not what I fear. And it was interesting because she kept bringing it up. She kept mentioning it to me, to the point where I just had to separate myself out until I was strong enough
Yeah.
and could manage it. And then now it's like, oh, okay, now I'm good.
But isn't it interesting, because there are some people, there's nothing else to talk about.
Yes.
There's nothing else, I guess, in common
Right.
of
Yeah.
substance
Yeah.
to have discussions about. And
Exactly.
it's boring.
Yeah.
They're bored because I'm not wanting to sit and
Yeah.
roll around in the shit. I'm bored because I want to talk about, like, this life is fucking cool.
I know.
And the things we get to experience and manifest are amazing.
Absolutely. And the things that we learn about ourselves, like
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
fascinated by the experiences that have been placed before us that help us to grow if we choose that path.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm always going to choose growth and awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
always,
sometimes I'm going to choose the wrong thing.
Mhm. Oh,
And
for
it's
sure.
always going to lead to growth and awareness.
Yes.
It's not that it's this easy, perfect, you know, we're what do you call them? A monk
Yeah.
up in the hills. It's not, we're living life and bumping up against it. All of us are.
Yeah. But those negative experiences just help propel us forward so much. And
Yeah.
I just choose to experience it, to be aware of it, and then to
Yeah.
try whatever I can and rely on whoever I need to in order to progress.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I refuse to roll around for too long in the bullshit.
yeah, sometimes,
Do.
Sometimes I roll around a little bit too long, but
But
I
not
catch
for
myself.
months. Not for months, right?
No,
Like I
no.
know sometimes people are like just owning this story like it's stitched into the fabric of
Oh
who they
yeah.
are.
Yeah. No, and
And
I did that for years.
yeah,
In my early 20s, stories I believed
yeah,
about, part of it was experience and part of it was childhood trauma. But what I made all that mean was not, oh, you have been prepared to handle these hard things.
yeah,
It was, oh, everything happens to you and you're unworthy and you're this and just all this complete and utter bullshit. But I got out of it. How I
and
got out of it, I still shake my head because I'm like, wow, wow, wow. But we don't have to live like that. And we should.
no. And every moment, every minute is another opportunity
Mhm.
to shift
Yeah.
towards something better,
Mhm.
something greater,
Yeah.
feeling better every single moment. And sometimes you need a coach to be able to help you through. Sometimes you need to go to someone who knows what to do or has been there. Sometimes you
Yeah.
need to say to your friend, I cannot go here.
Uh-huh. Not doing
Sorry,
it.
I'm in the sand for right now. I'm not doing it. I'm not going.
And we're never too old to say, mm-mm,
Yeah,
enough. You know,
exactly.
I think 70-year-olds still have the ability. They've got some of them will have like 20 years left.
Mhm.
Do they really want to continue to carry that bullshit for 20 more years?
Right.
Like, why? When you
I
don't
know.
have to.
I know.
But on that
Well,
note, I am pretty sure we are out of time. Thank you, Sandra. This was great.
yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.